I'm Savannah.
I'm Casey.
And welcome back to Vlogmas.
Day 4.
Vlogmas Day 4. We have something really exciting at the end of this video. It's a giveaway because today is our Blogiversary, actually.
Happy 7th birthday to Hey Wanderer.
Yes, to the blog.
To the blog.
To the blog. So 7 years, 800 blog posts.
800 plus.
800 plus blog posts.
So we thought we would just tell you a little bit about how we got started, how we met, just all of that, because I don't think we've ever done that in just one place.
Yeah, I told the whole story.
Told the whole story, because I think it's interesting.
Yeah, and I think people like to know what the beginnings of things were like, and yeah, where we've come from, and how,
but
yeah.
If that bores you, just fast forward to the end, and we have a giveaway, so very exciting.
So, do you want to start? This is your cactus microphone.
So, we met, so when Savannah and I met, I was in nursing school. Savannah had just moved to Nashville, so you moved here.
2011.
She moved to Nashville in 2011.
Very beginning of 2011.
I've basically been here forever.
Yeah.
I guess, let me back up and say, my background, I have a degree in marketing, and then I was in sales for 6 years, in outside sales, and then I, through a whole nother very long story, ended up going to nursing school. When I was in nursing school, I was working as a server in a restaurant downtown, and that is where I met Savannah.
Yeah. When I moved to Nashville, I started working at the same restaurant, and it was about 3 months in when we crossed paths at the restaurant. And Casey, I guess really soon, like maybe the first day that we interacted, she invited me to go to church with her, and I went with her that next Sunday.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. But really, we did, after church that Sunday, we went to have lunch afterwards, just me and her, and we talked for a really, really long time. And I hadn't really found friends while I was here. I mean, I knew people that I worked with, and that's all I knew, and I would hang out with them. And it was fine. I liked them, but it just we didn't have a real connection. It was just, I work with you. And so,
now, if you've ever worked at a restaurant before, you know that the people that usually work in a restaurant are pretty wild. So
yeah,
that was not
and
really
that's not me and
either
not
of our
you.
scene.
Yeah. And so it was great to kind of find each other in that, especially because there was not a lot of people that were not that wild side.
You should tell us what you did before you moved to Nashville and what your degree is in.
Yeah, so I went to college for visual art. So I just did all kinds of art things, painting, drawing. I actually, for a semester, went to a music school away from my school. So I did a variety of things. It just ended up being visual art. And then I taught for a semester.
That's right. She's a teacher.
I taught 9th grade AP biology and then regular integrated physics and chemistry. And I was definitely not qualified to teach that. I actually so even though my degree was in art, I could teach that, but you can't get a job doing that right out of college. I mean, there was like 3 art jobs in all of the district I was working in, so it was very unlikely I was going to get that. So I took the test to be certified for 8 through 12 math. So I got certified for that. And then I ended up teaching the science classes. And I was basically learning sciences at like the night before I was teaching it. It was
amazing. Pretty
terrible. I mean, fun and terrible. It was 9th grade. My brother was in 9th grade, and I love my brother. But I had some of his friends in my class. It was just kind of strange. But yeah,
oh my God.
Fun, but also I didn't like it. So after that semester is kind of when I had, a crisis of what am I doing with my life, and then I moved to Nashville. So,
and you moved here without knowing anybody.
I didn't know a single soul. I had literally never been here, and my mom and my friend and I came up here to visit because I was like, maybe I should move to Nashville. And I really liked it. I found an apartment. I got the job at the restaurant, and literally a week later, I lived here. And I didn't know anyone. And it was hard.
then in December of 2011, Savannah ended up moving in with me, which was like a whole nother long story. Maybe we'll get into one day. Before that, we had started the blog.
So before December, we actually set up a studio, like a craft room or whatever is what we called it, in my apartment. And we would just do little crafts or whatever. And she had so many supplies and I had the space. So we just like set it up. And then we wanted to sell things on Etsy. I mean, we didn't really have an idea of what. We just wanted to sell things on Etsy. And then Casey was a blog lover, avid blog reader. I didn't know what a blog was. Like, I mean, I really didn't. I just was like, what are you talking about? Just the word blog. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But she was like, people who sell on Etsy have blogs. That's how they drive the traffic to their shops. And so we were like, okay, let's start a blog so we can have that traffic.
But at this time with Pinterest, we would do a blog post, we would pin it, and then I could watch our blog views just go up. I mean, it was incredible.
Significantly, not just a couple views, like a ton.
Like you could pin and bam, your views were going up. It was pretty incredible. And it was just not as saturated as it is now. I mean, it was just like,
the beginning.
If you did a hair tutorial, it was real likely that was the first time someone had done that type of hair tutorial. I mean, the internet was big, but Pinterest wasn't.
Right.
So we had some successes with several different hair tutorials and a few things that did pretty well, pretty quickly on. But then in April of 2012 was when we had one go viral. And I mean, viral.
So it was I guess it is a tutorial, but I had seen a pin on Pinterest and I just wanted to try it out. It was actually just a picture and someone had written something under it and I was like, I don't think that's right. So, I mean, I just didn't believe it or not believe it. I was like,
it didn't even go anywhere.
It didn't go anywhere. Yeah. There wasn't a blog post when you clicked it. It was literally just a photo. So I tried this, what they said, tutorial or whatever out, and I just did a blog post about it. I took photos of what I was doing. I have my hair braided and twisted and I'm straightening it, and that it's like a black and white photo that just blew up all over Pinterest. It's not even like these days you have to make this beautiful Pinterest image with words and catch people's eyes. It was not like that. It was a black and white photo taken at night in like this gross warm bathroom light. And it just went viral. And
as of now, I think we've lost track, but it has been pinned like 4 million times. I mean, it was huge. Yeah. We got up to, I think it was 280, but at least 250,000 page views in a day over this. I mean, it was just, we did not know. We'd only been blogging from December to April, so that was just like huge.
It was great, but we also just didn't know what we were doing. I mean,
we didn't know what we were doing so much that we hadn't monetized our blogs. So if you are a blogger, you're crying for us right now because we had all this traffic and we weren't earning a dime off of it.
It was basically all for nothing. I mean, not really, because it kept bringing, for a very long time, tons of people to our blog. I mean, for years. And we did learn to monetize or like kind of figure out how to use that, but not for a very long time. We're just like, we have all these views. What do we do with this? It was just a very different time. And the information wasn't so readily available about how to do that, how to monetize.
Yeah, and because we didn't set out and go, okay, we're going to do a blog, we're going to become bloggers, we're going to make money doing this. It was literally, as we said, we wanted to do an Etsy shop. The Etsy shop really never even came to fruition. We did sell a few things, but then that just kind of fell to the wayside because we did have success with blogging, but we hadn't monetized it. So we did that for 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah,
I guess 2 years.
Two. I'm sure it's like 2.5 or something like that. Yeah, and we posted regularly enough, and Still had good success on other blog posts, and we just kind of got really burnt out because we were chasing Pinterest success, basically.
Right.
We're like, what's going to do well on Pinterest? I guess that was basically our only question.
Yeah.
And that really did burn us out very quickly.
Well, and it burned us out because we really weren't making a lot of money. We did get we did get a few brand deals, like a few sponsored things, but nobody knew. We didn't know what we were doing, so we didn't charge enough. Mm-hmm. We just weren't making money, and as much as we all like to say, oh, our passions are what drives us. Well, when you start working as hard as we were working and you're not really getting anything but page views,
the passion doesn't really matter all that much. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Because so it's like we've done all this work and we've built this whole platform for nothing. I mean, people were benefiting from it, but you can only run on that for so long, because then you're having to hustle to make money in other ways. And so we just got really burnt out, and Savannah had this idea. She was just going to do a DIY on how to make a kimono.
Yeah, well, before that, we kind of were like, okay, we are burnt out. We aren't making the money we want to make. We aren't even blogging about what we want to blog about. Like, why are we doing this? So we decided to rebrand our blog and kind of take it in a different direction, which is where we started naming it Hey Wanderer. And we changed what we were doing. We decided not to look at things like what will pin well on Pinterest and just kind of do what we were passionate about. Was that a good idea? Nobody knows. Naming it Hey Wanderer, yes, great idea. Yeah. I don't regret that ever. And obviously, at the end of the day, don't regret any of our path, but sometimes you are like, oh my gosh, what did we do?
What were we thinking?
Yeah, so that's when, in that, I decided I wanted to make a kimono and do a tutorial on the blog for it. And I made one. I posted on Instagram and asked if I don't even think I was fully serious, but I was just like, oh, should I make these to sell? And people wanted them.
And we did a little house show at our friend's house, which is so crazy.
It is so crazy. And basically, there's a lot more to that story, but we started a clothing brand, basically. Right. We didn't get to be as creative in the clothing brand as we had been in the blog. And it was kind of this like, man, we don't know how good we had it, even though it was a stressful situation to not be making money off of what you're doing. So we were like, let's just go back to the blog, basically. And so we did. We started
by the fall of last year.
Amping the blog up, and then we did our last piece was in September, and for the clothing brand, and then that was it. We
really didn't even make it
the blog.
Yeah, we didn't really make an announcement that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Because people knew we were making clothes, we were also doing a blog, and we just kind of slowly transitioned that and started writing content. And
it was, I will say, when we were keeping up with the blog and had a clothing brand, it was confusing.
Yeah.
On Instagram, basically, it was hard to promote both things, and we did, and I just think people didn't know what was going on, so we just kind of wanted to.
And I will say one thing we did while we were still doing the clothing brand, which was very eye-opening, and I think the beginning of the end for the clothing brand was we were analyzing our Instagram analytics, and we pulled up our top posts that performed well, and when we realized that pictures of our house far outperformed any pictures of our clothing, it was kind of like, whoa, what do I do? What does that mean?
I have a clothing brand and people just want to look at my house.
Yeah, we'd actually grown more from house pictures than we did from our clothing brand. And I mean, we never even started out even thinking of ourselves as home interior people. We just like to decorate. We're just both very creative people naturally. Not for the blog, not for anyone, just because, you know. And then we realized, that's what that's what people were interested in. And at the time when we were making clothes, we were like, man, should we be making home decor stuff? And maybe that'll be something that we do in the future, but making stuff or having it made, that's a whole nother animal we're not ready to take on.
Yeah.
But that brings us here today.
Yeah.
So we essentially restarted the blog. And even though it existed, we had to relearn how to do everything because it had changed a lot in the time.
Yeah. Very different. Pinterest does not even do a fraction of what it used to do. And it's still great and it's necessary. But you can't just pin something and watch your blog views go up anymore. Those days are over.
Those days are gone.
Yeah. But yeah, we just, I was also going to say that when we restarted the blog or, revamped it, we kind of started revamping our Instagram alongside that. And we just did a lot of research on Instagram and our blog, like what do people like, what am I doing that is getting a good response, what am I doing that's not, we just did a lot of analyzation. Is that a word? Analyzation? Analyzing.
Sounded like a word.
Yeah, we did a lot of analyzing of data and just our stuff, and which is something that everyone should do. But it really, it just changed our Instagram and our everything so much. And we actually ended up writing a course about that, so if you're interested in that, I'll link it below. But it's just, it's been an interesting journey, lots of ups and downs, and
very humbling.
And I would say that nothing is, rainbows and butterflies now that we're not doing clothing and doing the blog again.
Right.
But I do feel freer without the clothing brand.
I do too, especially creatively. I know maybe you've heard this or not, but clothing is about a 5% creative process. Like you create the line that you're going to do, and then the rest of it is all business. Business and sales, promotion. And there is this, I could go on about that.
And then you could go on forever about that, but it's so different. And now I'm very grateful that you people look at our blog or our Instagram or our videos, because
some of you guys have been around since Oh So Pretty, and guys,
that blows my mind.
That blows my mind. Like, you are awesome.
Yeah,
and we really appreciate you guys are all stars.
All stars.
But I really mean when we say we are so appreciative of everyone that follows us, that has been along for the ride, or even if you're just coming on, like, thanks for giving us a shot. We love doing this. I was telling a blogger, a friend of ours yesterday, that when it's a day to do blog work, like, I wake up excited. On days I have to go to nursing, I don't necessarily feel excited about that. But when we do blog stuff, we love it. And we love coming up with ideas.
Because it's our life. If we didn't have the blog, because we didn't have the blog in the beginning, we just create things for fun. We decorate things, host parties. That's just something we both love to do, thank goodness, because we'd be in trouble if we both didn't like that. But basically, being able to share that with you and possibly inspire you to do something in your life that is creative, or something you've been wanting to do but have been waiting for something. That's just a great opportunity for us. Because of all of this, we do want to thank you, and for our 7th birthday Blogiversary, we're doing a giveaway with one of our favorite Nashville companies, Paddywax candles. So what we have done is we have actually gone to Paddywax. We already burn their candles and love so many of their scents, but we actually went there and smelled everything. And
it was overwhelming.
It was a little overwhelming. We smelled everything. We picked our 7 favorite scents. And what we are giving away is 3 different people. They will, hold on. 3 different people will win, and each will get a set of all 7. So we'll just go through them really quickly.
So we have this one. And the great thing about Paddywax is that they come in the best containers that you can reuse. So this one is, Bergamot
Can you not read?
And fresh
Bergamot
fig.
and fresh fig.
Yeah, but I just don't know how you say that.
I think bergamot. I say bergamot, but he said bergamot.
I see.
So whatever
Ooh.
you want.
It smells good. I don't even know how to describe it.
So this one smells kind of like an evergreen tree, but better.
Then we have this one. It is Peony and Patchouli, and it's actually in the big container, and it has 3 wicks, which, side note, the more wicks, the more evenly it burns.
Smells so good. And then I've got another container like the Bergamot one, and it's tobacco and patchouli, which is their original scent and also their best selling, but in the different, not in this container, a different container.
Oh,
great.
Yeah. I love
There's a reason why it's the best seller. And then we've got this cute little, I don't know if you can tell, it's like iridescent. Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm.
And this is cotton and teak. Also smells delicious.
That's good.
I wish I could give you a better, this is kind of like a good mix of a manly and woman smell. It's both.
And then we have this one.
Oh my
God. Violet and vanilla.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. I love
That's
it.
good.
Ooh, that's
really
good.
This is a simple container, but it's still good. Still good. And then, go ahead with that one.
This one is tobacco and vanilla. Oh, I just love this container. You could reuse that for...
Oh, yeah, you could put like your earrings or like rings or something in there, or cotton balls in your bathroom.
Yes.
Love it.
It's so pretty.
And then this is one of the ones that we are obsessed with. I love all of these. Would say I'm obsessed, but we've had this one so many times at our house. And this one is called Black Eclipse in Amber. It's also, before it was called Black Coconut and Amber. So basically, if you can imagine, coconut and amber.
Yeah, it's like a manly coconutty smell. Ooh.
It's good. So these two, you'll get 2 of these if you win in the full size that have the 3 wicks. And then the other 5 are the smaller size. But they're all fabulous and they all look amazing. So
what we will do to enter is to go to our Instagram page, and we'll have a picture of all this stuff on there and follow the instructions on there. You need to follow Paddywax. You need to follow us on Instagram. Tag some people in the comments.
Yeah. And we'll have all the directions over on Instagram. So just go find this picture. I'll insert it in. And then, follow the directions, and then you will be entered to win.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Happy Vlogmas.
Is that the end?
Yeah.